Some people move through life with a mind that never really goes quiet. Even in silence, their thoughts keep arranging the world into patterns, meanings, and possibilities. And from the outside, that kind of mind can look impressive. But from the inside, it often feels more complicated than people imagine. Because extremely high intelligence is not just about solving things. It is often about feeling too much, seeing too much, and carrying too much at once. A very high IQ can make the mind feel like a room with too many open windows. Everything gets in. Tiny details that most people overlook can become impossible to ignore. A pause in someone's voice, a contradiction in a sentence, a mood shift no one else seems to notice. For some highly intelligent people, life feels less like receiving information and more like absorbing atmosphere. They do not just hear what is being said, they hear what is underneath it. And that can make ordinary conversations strangely exhausting. Not because they dislike people, but because their brain keeps filling in 10 layers beneath every moment. This is one of the quiet burdens of an extremely high IQ. The mind rarely stays on the surface long enough to rest there. Many gifted people learn early that they are somehow out of sync, not better, not worse, just operating on a frequency that is harder to share. When they ask deeper questions, people may laugh them off. When they need precision, people may call them intense. When they pull away to think, people may call them distant. So little by little, some of them begin translating themselves. They shorten what they really mean. They hide how far their mind has already gone. They try to sound casual while carrying an entire internal essay. And after a while, that kind of self-editing can become lonely. Because being understood is not the same as being admired. And many highly intelligent people receive the first without ever fully receiving the second. People notice what they can do, but not always what it costs them. A fast mind can be useful, but a fast mind can also outrun peace. It can turn one comment into an hour of analysis, one decision into 20 possible futures, one emotion into a full investigation. This is why some people with extremely high IQs do not feel mentally powerful. They feel mentally crowded. And because they think deeply, they often feel deeply too. There is a stereotype that intelligence makes people cold. But for many, the opposite is closer to the truth. They feel the texture of things intensely. The emotional tone of a room, the hidden meaning in a joke, the sadness behind someone saying, "I'm fine." And because they notice what is unspoken, they may carry emotions that were never theirs to begin with. That is part of why solitude can feel so necessary. Not as rejection, but as recovery. For some very intelligent people, being alone is the only time they can hear themselves clearly. No translation, no performance, no need to shrink the shape of their mind. Still, solitude has its own ache. Because even if being around people can feel overwhelming, not being known can hurt more. This creates a strange push and pull. They crave depth, but depth is rare. They want honesty, but honesty can unsettle people. They long for connection, but forced connection feels empty almost instantly. So they may become selective, quietly protective of their energy, careful about who gets to see their real questions, and extremely careful about who gets to see their confusion. Because one of the most misunderstood things about a very high IQ is this. Intelligence does not remove uncertainty. Sometimes it multiplies it. The more angles you can imagine, the harder it becomes to settle. The more possibilities you can see, the more responsibility you may feel. And the more deeply you understand people, the harder it can be to stop excusing what hurts you. This is why some highly intelligent people stay in conversations too long, in relationships too long, in overthinking loops too long, because they can explain everything except how to let go. And yet, there is also beauty in this kind of mind. It can notice wonder in places other people rush past. It can find language for feelings that once had no name. It can offer comfort that feels precise, not generic. It can make someone feel seen in the exact place they were hiding. So if you have a mind like this, your intensity is not a flaw. Your need for space is not coldness. Your overthinking is often a tired form of trying to keep life from hurting. Your loneliness may simply be the pain of having depth in shallow places. And your sensitivity may be the very thing that makes your intelligence human. Maybe the goal was never to quiet your mind completely. Maybe the goal is to build a life where your mind no longer has to defend itself every minute. A life with fewer masks, fewer forced conversations, more honest rest, more people who do not rush your depth, and more compassion for the part of you that has been carrying too much alone. So let me leave you with this. What part of your inner world have you been shrinking just to feel easier for other people to hold? If this video felt a little too familiar, you can stay for the next one. And if you want more quiet psychology stories like this, a soft subscribe would mean a lot. Next time, we'll talk about why some deeply self-aware people still struggle to feel emotionally safe.